Ah, Grudge. I was expecting you. I thought you'd be here a bit sooner.
Why, this is the meeting hall in our town. That's what it is. This is our town hall. Why is it this way?
You're in the future, Mr. Grudge.
The future.
The world's future. You've gone on a bit, so to speak. What do you think of the old neighborhood?
Our town hall. But what could have done this? What happened here?
Time. Time happened here, Mr. Grudge. Attrition, neglect, misuse, a few passing catastrophes. Time. Of little consequence, really. There grew to be less and less need for a meeting place, for a platform for debate. The American Town Hall, you will remember, Mr. Grudge, was a microcosm of all the meeting halls of the world. Places where men could talk it over. It seems we reached a moment in time when talk became superfluous. So now your town hall is past tense. But then again, if you step outside, you will note that most of what you see is past tense, or rather, most of what you don't see.
How far in the future am I?
It is a Christmas Eve, a night of December the 24th. The year is not important. Calendars are past tense now also.
The clock is stopped.
Indeed, the clock is stopped. So has electricity. The fact is, there are so few people around, the loss is hardly noticed.
Why?
Comprehending, are you, Mr. Grudge?
There was a war.
At Dandy.
When?
When? On Doomsday. We don't have dates now, but that's how it's remembered. The exact hour hardly matters, does it? It seems, at a given moment, we thought that they'd drop some bombs, or they thought we'd drop some bombs. Anyway, somebody thought somebody had dropped some bombs. By then, of course, everybody had the bomb. They'd all been wanting it, you remember? It got so with no controls that nobody was really anybody if they didn't have the bomb. What you see before you, Mr. Grudge, is a tiny part of a big, round, radioactive mud burying ground.
Is it all like this? Is the whole world a burying ground?
All of it. All of the towns, in all of the meeting places, in all of the countries of the world. Just like this.
Did no one speak out? Was there no single voice of reason? But what about the United Nations? It was supposed to keep the peace.
The United? Oh, that town meeting hall. Oh, yes, well, that went some time back, I'm afraid. You see, they dropped out. Or maybe we dropped out. Anyway, somebody dropped out, and pretty soon everybody was dropping or had dropped out. And before anybody knew it, the talking had stopped. But there were voices, Mr. Grudge. The world didn't lack for sound. Behind each separate fence, each separate wall, came screams of anger, suspicion, and prejudice. And they grew, and they grew. But there were no answers, remember. No discussion. No place for it. And so in the end, the world was filled with the noise of hate. And inevitably... Ah... The inheriting strong of the earth. The fittest who happen to survive. The leftovers of the crap game after they rolled the H-bomb and nobody made their point.
And the Imperial Me. The Imperial Me. And this is the non-government of the Me people. Now, why don't we just relax and get nice and cozy? Now, folks, the first item on today's agenda is this business. If the people from down yonder and the people from across river wanted to come in here and talk about what they call our mutual problems.